Welcome to the Art Project. The elements of art are line, shape, value, color, texture, space, and form. And in this episode, we're going to talk about shape. All right, first, let's talk about what organic and geometric shapes are. Organic shapes are just one category of shapes that are irregular in nature. They look like they came from nature. They're very random. They look like they could have possibly just grown anywhere, like blades of grass or fire. Most importantly, they just do not look like they're mathematical or regular or human-made in any way. Whereas geometric shapes do look as though they're mathematical. They look like they were human-made, like squares, even circles, or other seemingly irregular shapes that are still human-made in appearance, like cut out for a certain reason. Sometimes stars are very geometric looking, look like they were done this way on purpose. Sometimes hearts can be very precise looking, right? But you can also have, very organic looking heart shapes that are not quite as precise looking. So some shapes don't fall into one category or the other very precisely. All right, with that being said, I'm going to take 3 of these pieces of cardstock and I'm going to create 3 geometric shapes on this color. I'm going to start with a circle. I can do a rectangle. And so this is going to be one of my shapes. This is going to be another shape. I'm going to make a shape that's less conventional but still geometric. And I'm just making this up. There's no necessarily right or wrong. I'm just making geometric shapes. This right here by itself could be a geometric shape. So without doing anything else to it, I think I will a little bit more to it. Use the edge of this compass. We'll see what that looks like in a minute. And then I'm going to do another geometric shape here. Again, I'm just keeping this really random, no right or wrong. And I also want them to be interesting, so that's kind of why I'm thinking about the way I'm doing this. This is geometric, but I'm going to cut these shapes out as precisely as I can with my scissors on the line. This is a work of art, and it doesn't have to be a part of a machine or anything, so it's not going to matter if my lines are not completely straight. But I'm going to try and make them as perfect as I can, because the harder I try to make them perfect, the better they will be, even if they are not perfect. Five geometric shapes to choose from, or to use in a minute. I'm going to set those aside. I got a different color of cardstock. I'm gonna make this one like really big. This is just sort of a bean shape. I'm gonna cut on this inside line here. I'm gonna make this one a little bit smaller. All right, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me do one more. Just a small one here. It might come in handy. And then I'm going to cut them out. So I've got a piece of 9 by 12 drawing paper. I think it's a really good idea to put a border on your paper. The reason a border is a good idea is because if you decide you like your artwork enough to get it framed, it makes it easier for the framer to frame it. And I usually like to put like a 1/2 inch border around my paper. Then I'm going to pick my shapes. I really like my organic shapes. I think I'm going to do all organic and this one geometric shape. I'm going to place these organic shapes everywhere. I want some of them to go off the side of the paper. Hold it down real tight so that you can trace it. There's one. I can take the same shape. I actually want to trace all of these shapes a couple of times, at least twice, probably 3 times. But I can take it and flip it, and it's still an organic shape, and it's still different. I'm going to trace it right here. Then I'm going to take this big one. I'm going to stop right there so it looks like it's going behind that E, or that organic shape. It's not an E, but it looks like one, doesn't it? I'm going to trace this one over here. I'm going to make this one go on top of the other shape and then erase this part so it looks like it's behind it. So it looks like this shape is behind this shape. And I'll do one more down here, just coming on the paper. All right, and now finally, I want one geometric shape somewhere in the picture to contrast with all of the organic shapes. I've got all these organic shapes. Plus I've also got some negative shapes, negative spaces. I might have to use one of these smaller ones like this. I'm gonna go right there. I think that's the spot. Okay, got all my shapes traced. Got my composition. Now I'm going to color it in. All right, for my background, I'm gonna use black. For the negative space, I'm gonna use black. Basically, I'm going to go around the edge of the negative space like this. Carefully. I don't want to get outside the line, or in this case, inside the line. I'm tracing the positive space in the negative space. I know that's confusing. Wrap your mind around it. This right here that I'm tracing is the negative space around all of the different pieces of positive space, positive shapes. I'm using the side of my marker so I get a nice fat black line. This is a Crayola marker, which I found works the best for this. Now I'm going to take a paintbrush, dip it in some water. I have a little water right here. And I'm going to use it to wet this black down and paint into the middle. This is going to give it a nice, airy, watery, interesting appearance. And this Crayola marker just dissolves in this water. I found that it is better to do this one shape at a time rather than do all the shapes and then do the water, because once the Crayola marker has dried a lot, it doesn't bleed as much. That's it. Once you have it completely filled in with paint and beautiful color, you're all done. Hang it on the wall. Now it's your turn. Go make some art.